Hi, I'm Elliot, and I love to travel, but with everything that's happened in 2020, it's hard to say when I will cross another border. With that being said, I do have this itch, and lately I found myself on Google Maps just wandering around. It doesn't really compare with the real thing, but it's still fun to do, so I thought I'd share my experience in this new series called Google Maps Adventure. So join me and my Pegman as we explore Google Maps Street View in the safety of our homes. Let's go.
Google Maps Adventure. Welcome back. I was gonna call it Google Maps Adventures, like more than one adventure, but then I said it wrong in the first episode. I said Google Maps Adventure instead of Adventures. And so in my title, I had to call it Google Maps Adventure. That's what happens when you make a mistake in your first episode. It kind of brands the rest of your series. Anyways, welcome to episode 2 of Google Maps Adventure. And it's off to a good start. Off to a good start today. And without further ado, let's hop right into it. Let's start traveling, right? Let's start traveling. Let's catch our flight, because today we're going to one of my favorite cities in the world. I love this place. I've only been there for maybe a maximum of 3 days. It's hard to remember how many days I was there, but I think I was there for maybe 3 days, 2 nights. And I think about those 3 days, 2 nights often. It's strange because I've had so many days in my life, and some days just stand out more than others. And those 3 days, 2 nights in New York City really, I guess, stuck in my brain. All the highlights of it, all the adventure I had. And I always wanted an opportunity to go back. I've made, loose plans to go back. I have a few family members there, and a few times I was like, let's plan a New York trip, and I ended up just planning a Vegas trip instead, because I was like, Vegas kind of has a New York. But it's not really the same. It's not really the same. So today, let's go visit New York City. New York City. Let's grab my peg. I don't know. Let's zoom in a little first, where I think New York is. There we go. Whoa. All right, here we are. Kind of like the overview of it, and just to show you the things I've learned from episode 1. I did a little prep work here. I listed out a few things that I wanted to see today in no specific order. So we'll see if we could get to all of them. New York City. When people talk about New York, they tend to think of Manhattan, and I do as well. That's pretty much the only part of New York that I've been in. Those 3 days, 2 nights of it. And I am not super familiar with the city. I was pretty much, it's actually a really easy city to figure out. I mean, like the downtown Manhattan, it's gridded out pretty clear. Like some streets are numbered, some streets are words. And so you could kind of figure out how to get around pretty quickly. It's not that big. You could kind of walk around it, and what do they call it? The subway. The subway. It's pretty clear how to move around New York. But the first thing I remember, my wife and I, we went to New York because she won a contest, and she took me, nicely enough, to go with her, and it's just been one of the best memories of, I don't know about her life, but definitely of my life. So I can't speak on behalf of her. But the first thing we did when we landed in New York was we wandered around looking for a hotel for a bit. And then we went to the Empire State Building. So I feel like that's a good place to start. That's like a pretty iconic place for people to go. So we'll try to, I don't know where it is exactly. Empire State Building. Where are you? Oh, it's like literally right in front of me. All right, let's drop our pen guy. We were there in the middle of the night. Oh God, I didn't prepare for this. See, doing Google Maps in Street View, kind of. Is this the Empire State Building? It's hard to tell. Let's just walk around it. This is what traveling is all about, right? I remember going to Shenzhen last year and looking for the tallest building in Shenzhen. And even when I got to it, and I was looking up and I was thinking like, this building is really big, but there weren't any signs or anything telling me that that was actually what I was looking at. So I didn't know if I was at the tallest building in the city for the longest time. I was just kind of walking around it and looking for another taller building. And I was like, I think this is it. I think this is the tallest building. That shows how, it shows how bad my perspective of how big things are. Is this the Empire State? It doesn't look like it, right? It kind of looks like there's WeWorks. Look how busy it is. I'm kind of lost, to be honest. Oh, a good thing for this little map here. Let's try to rearrange ourselves and head back in the right direction. Whew, okay. I get lost a lot when I'm traveling. It's kind of the thing I like to do the most. It's from the previous episode about Vancouver, you can see how, in tune to the city here I am. I kind of know my way around Vancouver pretty good. It's very rare that I would be lost in the city for more than, 5-10 minutes. But one of the best parts about traveling, in my opinion, I guess this is it, right? This looks like Empire State Building. Kinda. I guess all the scaffolding is getting in the way. I'll return to a story about scaffolding in a bit, but am I looking the wrong way? Is it on the other block? I might have to go around the other block. What I'm trying to say here is that we should travel with the intention of getting lost. It should be expected. You cannot prepare yourself enough that you will never get lost. When you're traveling, you should embrace the opportunities to be lost, because that's what traveling is all about, in my opinion. Okay, from this angle, I can kind of see that looks like the Empire State Building. Anyways, I have another story of, I should stick with New York stories. Shouldn't tell stories about like other places I've been to. Okay, we saw the Empire State Building. That's pretty cool. Okay, I'm heading downtown. All right, next place that I want to see is Times Square. The thing is, I drew this list out in not the best order. Not the most efficient way of seeing the city. It's kind of just like a list of places. So I'm gonna maybe jump around and make the best use of our time here. See, I don't know where Times Square is, but let's go around and maybe we'll stumble upon it. Okay, I'm going down 33rd Street. All these streets seem so famous. Ooh, Celtic Grill. I feel like we went here for dinner. We went to an Irish bar for dinner when we came to, was it Irish? I had haggis. Is haggis Irish? I think so. And is this Madison Square Garden? No. Can it be? I think it is. No, this is Penn Station. Yeah, of course. Of course. Which means MSG should be close by, right? What is this place? That's also Penn Station. I have Grand Central on the list. So look, get excited for that when we get there. It's kind of in the opposite direction, I think. Anybody from New York? Look at these guys, they're having lunch. This is like a busy day. This is like pre-pandemic New York City. One of the best memories I had in New York is just having like the street food, like pretzels and hot dogs, and it was just like I've made it. I've made it. Okay, I think I'm like really far off from where I want to go, so I might just, in an effort to save time here, see if I can find it without. Oh, here we are, Times Square. Yep, there we go. Oh, I am inside of what appears to be some sort of hotel driveway. The Marriott Marquise. That's where we're staying tonight. Let's pretend we just left our hotel here, and okay, I have no sense of directions. Here's what I find with like big cities. It's so disorienting when you like come out of a building and you don't know which way you're facing and you just start walking in an arbitrary direction, and that's how you get lost. That's the best way to get lost. If you're looking for ways to get lost, start with that. Oop, I flipped around here. I was watching my previous episode and I was like, this mouse click is really annoying. So I hope it's not bothering anyone. Look at all these people gathered around here. Wow. Okay, I think Times Square is this way. Memories of Times Square. Whoa, this is Shake Shack. Yeah, this seems like it. It's I keep on like losing my. I need to find that area with all the screens and stuff. I think it's this way. Let's go. Oh God, I've lost control of my mouse clicky. I might have to get out and come back in. Oops. What is happening here? Okay, give me a moment. Google Maps, don't give up on me now. Okay. All right, I have regained. Nope. This is the type of show we have going on. All right. So, where's Times Square? One of the most famous places in the world, and I can't find it. Oh, there it is. There you are. Now, I'm not a big fan of crowds. So just seeing this is giving me a lot of anxiety. Whoa, this is weird. Like, have you seen this? This is like this police officer's looking into like a parallel universe of himself, like into the abyss. So all these people here, I'll say 95% of them are probably tourists. Oop. And yeah, it's a lot of people here. And so my memory of Times Square, I was walking through Times Square, having lunch at Bubba Gump's, which is right there. And then on the way out, these buses are blocking my view, trying to enjoy the city, and we're stuck behind this bus. Isn't that just the way things go sometimes? You want to see the world, but your view is blocked by a bus. Let me see if I can to. Nope. The whole time, these buses are going to be in my way. Okay, I think we got past the bus. Bubba Gump is not my favorite restaurant. However, I've had many meals there, and it's always a good time. I don't know why it's not up there. I don't really think about it. But a lot of good memories at Bubba Gump's in New York, especially. And so we we ate our Forrest Gump food, and then we started walking around, and then these you know, black gentlemen came up to me, started talking aggressively to me. I think they called me Jet Li or Jackie Chan or something. And I was like, okay, okay. And then one of them talked me up and sold me his demo CD. I think his name was something weird, like Skeeter or something like that. Something, at least that's what it said on the cassette. Not the cassette, the CD. This was still a time when people were selling CDs. Like, I had a CD player. Anyways, I gave this guy $10. He gave me what I assume was music by him, because I was like, okay, you seem like a guy who's hustling pretty hard. You don't look like a musician particularly, but I'll support you. I'll support you. And I gave him $10, and he gave me a CD. Oh, Madame Tussauds. And I didn't listen to it until I got back home, and it turns out, I mean, I wasn't sure what music I was expecting. Maybe rap. I'm gonna tell you honestly, maybe rap is what I thought it was, but it ended up being like this weird, like obscure punk rock, like Simple Plan, but like a Simple Plan that never got famous. So I Shazammed it, and it was just like, yeah, it was essentially a less famous Simple Plan. So you can imagine the surprise, because I love Simple Plan. I was like, this is great. This is great. Yeah, it goes to show that you should support bootleggers, is what I'm trying to say here. All right. Where am I? Okay, so I left Times Square. That was kind of hectic. Let's just take a breath here for a moment. What's else on our list? Broadway. Broadway. How do we get there? Am I on Broadway? No, I'm on 42nd Street. 42nd Street. Pretty famous street. Look at all these like scaffoldings, New York. That's what they don't show you in the tourist magazine, the pamphlets that they send you. It's like there's a lot of construction all the time. It's noisy. People everywhere. Once again, Google Maps is failing me and I can't move. Okay, I'll just move in this direction. Imagine living here. It'll be pretty crazy, right? My cousin lives in New York, and I don't know how he does it. Like, some of these look like residential buildings. You can kind of tell if they have like a balcony. That's how I go. Okay, Dalton's Bar and Grill. Okay, I'm stuck again. All right. Okay, let's find our way to Broadway. Okay, no, Madame Tussauds. Grand Central. Let's just go to Grand Central. Oh, Grand Central was where we arrived. We took, from the airport, there was a bus, I think, that took us to Grand Central. Maybe we took a bus. And here we are. I think we are in the lower part of it. This is it. Iconic. I live in Vancouver. And the funny thing about living in Vancouver is that Vancouver, when it appears in television or movies, it always pretends to be something else, right? It's like Seattle or like LA. It's kind of, it's very versatile what Vancouver can play. But when you're in New York, what was the point I was trying to make? Oh yeah, Vancouver, when you see parts of Vancouver, it's always trying to be something else. Whereas New York is always New York, and it's so weird being here in person and just seeing things that you see on television. It's like, oh my God, it's like seeing a famous person everywhere. You know, it's like, oh, I recognize that, or I recognize that from the television. And it seems fake until you're actually there. Like you're on a movie set. It's like the moon landing. It's like you don't really believe in the moon landing until you're on the moon, right? So yeah, it was kind of surreal when I was standing in front of Grand Central Station or the Empire State Building or Rockefeller Center, which we should go to next, and just feeling like, oh man, I've seen these places on TV. This is intense. I didn't see any celebrities though, so that was kind of a drag. But saw the random people. And who's to say random people aren't as interesting as famous people? Just like how this building isn't more interesting than Grand Central, you know? You know, one of the interesting things about New York is that it's just so old. It's such an old city. It's got so much history, but it still looks... It's like a weird blend of like old historic like buildings and also like these new modern ones. And I really like that. Because Vancouver, as I showed you previously, doesn't have a lot of old things. We had the steam clock, which is about 30 years old. We got that going for us. Okay, where am I going now? I saw Grand Central. We should go to Rockefeller. That was another thing we wanted to do when we... Okay, I've entered this... I've entered Sergey's lair in New York, apparently. This is very strange. I'm getting out of here. Sorry, Sergey. I think that's the beauty of Google Maps, is that you could just teleport into, like, I'm not sure what this feature is or how you actually upload it onto Google Maps, but I think you just tag it. You tag a location you are in, and then you could show a more detailed version of that spot, as opposed to just what Google Maps can do, which is just get you the street view. Some of these can actually get you inside the building. I remember when I was using Google Maps in China, don't tell anybody. That was one of the ways of seeing different spots in China, because the Google car wasn't actually able to drive around China. So people have to, you gotta get like a more crowdsourced type of exposure, if you will. All right. I have no idea where Times Square is. Wait, no, I'm not looking for Times Square. Not looking for Times Square again. Where am I going? Oh yeah, 30 Rockefeller Center. It would be down here, I guess, on 30th Street. Wait, does that make sense? Or is it? Sorry about this. Oh, I found Victoria's Secrets and Pink over here, though. Give me a moment. Well, you know, maybe I should just refresh. Give me a moment. I'm gonna just refresh this. There we go. All right, we're up and running again. Oh, as you can see, there's a lot to do in New York, and it's definitely not a place that you could see in 3 days, 2 nights. So I really wanted to go back. Places that I didn't get to see I didn't get to see Central Park. I didn't get to see Harlem or much of Brooklyn, or even just walk around a bit more. My cousins gave us a walking tour of it, and took us over the Brooklyn Bridge, which I would like to go to today if we have enough time, if I hurry up here. So I have a lot of good memories of seeing 30 Rock, Rockefeller Plaza, which is famous for being where NBC is located. Why I appreciate it more so than other buildings in New York City is because I'm a big Conan O'Brien fan. And for many years, Conan O'Brien would do a show at 30 Rock, and that was how I got familiar with this building. And also SNL. So when we were here, we did a tour, like a tourist, and they showed us the different sets inside the building. So we saw the SNL set, and it was pretty cool. Shared some history of it, showed us like where the actors get ready and stuff like that. But however, at the end, this moment always stuck with me, and it was very strange the way it was phrased, like the page that took you around and gave you the tour and everything. At the end, there was this like long spiel about how they were gonna like give us a souvenir of some sort. But it was like, okay, first of all, take your hand and reach into your like pocket and open your pocket and take the tag they gave you and put it in your pocket because you get to keep that. And I'm like, what? This like tag, my tour guide tag, that's the souvenir you're giving me? Oh, thank you for letting me keep this tour guide tag. So that was a little insulting, I felt, but it didn't sour the experience too much. Whenever stuff like that happens when you're traveling, it's just like, this was done poorly, but I'm not mad or anything because I'm here on vacation and I'm in a good mood. I'm in a good mood. If you pulled that, on me like at home, bad reviews are coming. Bad reviews are coming. But if you pulled that thing on me when I have energy, when I'm in a good mood and I'm traveling, and I could take it. I could take it. I'll open my pocket and I'll put this tag in there and I'll keep it. It's like your souvenir is that receipt you just got. I was like, wow, thank you. Really? I could keep this receipt? So that was good times. So that's Rockefeller Center. And where else do I want to go today? A lot of good times. I think we should start making our way downtown. I would like to see the One World Trade Center. And if possible, catch a glimpse of Statue of Liberty. And if we can, cross Brooklyn Bridge. There's a lot to do still. There's a lot to do. Let me just position myself back, heading this way. Let's just take the road for a while. Okay, so we're heading down Park Avenue. Very famous as well. I feel like when you're traveling in New York, in Manhattan, and you're just stumbling around, you just end up stumbling into famous locations, like this tunnel here, which is kind of sketchy. Look at it. This is like video footage of The Ring or something. This is strange. So this is probably a really dark tunnel. And coming out here, and I would hate to drive in New York. And especially when we went too, it was in January, and it started snowing on the second night, and everything got kind of messed up because people started driving crazy. First of all, oh God, I just moved myself somewhere. People, first of all, drove crazily, and then they, what else did they do? Oh yeah, I saw like someone swerve into a parked car and hit it, and then just like continue driving off. So I was like, okay, I see what's going on here. And no one gives here. Okay, I'm having a hard time navigating around this place with Google Maps. Google Maps is not working with me today. Something. Come on, Google Maps. I'm just gonna drop myself here. Where should I go? Grand Central Terminal. Let's just drop myself in Grand Central and work my way down if I can. Let's go ahead in this direction. Oh, jeez. Oh, gosh. I guess I'll just go this way. I'll just go this way for a bit. Sorry, what was I saying? I got totally distracted there. Whee! Oh, yeah, what I'm saying is, when you're just stumbling around like a famous city in New York, you really don't need like a tour guide, because you just stumble across like famous places. Obviously, you should always create a list like this. Super useful if you have time constraints. But I rarely do when I'm traveling. There's really not anything that I really want to see when I'm traveling. It's more the experience of just being there that I kind of like. But today, just to give us some like anchor points to go on, otherwise it'll just be me like getting lost in traffic for however long this video is going to go for, and that's no fun. So I'm heading down Lexington Avenue here, and as you can see, this is a busy day. Traffic. Also, sorry, I'm like talking about like 3 different points, like on and off. But last time I was in New York, I keep losing the ability to move forward. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, a lot of one-way streets in this city. Kind of. Oh, I ended up in Bagel Express 3. All right. Okay. Gosh. All right. Let's get out of here. Just do a quick refresh here. Yeah. Wish I had an easier time moving around. It would make this so much more pleasurable. So a lot of one-way streets. Looks like a terrible place to drive. Like this to me, like if I'm in a car and I'm like piloting this car, it just seems like the worst place to drive, doesn't it? I mean, people do it every day, but like to get stuck in traffic here, awful. Anyway, especially when it's snowing. And when it was snowing, while we were there, the sidewalks flooded, and I wasn't prepared for snow, so I didn't bring my snow boots or anything. I just bought my fancy loafers. They weren't loafers, but they were not helpful. Oh god, I'm entering some like blurry. Someone blurred out this thing. Kind of makes me want to see what it is now, but they really blurred it out. Okay, I've reached the fork in the road here. Okay, Washington. Yeah, so I stepped in a puddle, like a almost knee-deep puddle, and my shoes got soaked. And the next day I had to catch a flight back home, and I had wet shoes the whole time. I tried sticking like a blow dryer in it just to like dry it up, and it didn't work. It wasn't long enough, and it was just completely soaked. Okay, this is Washington Park. What a beautiful park. I feel like we were here. Is this where they shot the Friends intro? What park was that? Anybody who knows? Let me know. All right, we're driving on the wrong side of the road now. Oh, I saw it in the distance. The one more. Oh, nope. Now I'm. Is that it? One World Trade Center? That kind of looks like it, right? I'm coming to you. I'm coming this way. Yeah, I feel like I'm missing things along the way if I'm too focused on just one building that I need to get to. Yeah, anyways, my shoes got soaked, and I was not happy. I was not happy. It doesn't matter how much fun you're having, how many receipts you get, if your shoes are wet, and your socks are wet, then you are having a bad time. Comfort is very important while traveling. So bring extra socks, bring extra shoes. That is my expert traveler advice. All right, now I'm in Lower Manhattan. I want to get to Canal Street. I see it. It might just be easier for me to like look at it in the distance than it is for me to actually be right up against it, because then I'll be like just staring up at the building. But let's try to get close. Ooh, this looks cool. I'm not sure what this is. Is this like a Nike's headquarters? Let's pretend it's Nike's headquarters. It's not what it is though, I'm pretty sure. Cortlandt Street. So this is cool. Let's see if I could drive through here. Nope. I can't just. So here's a lot of cool buildings. This will be a fun place to work. If you have like a really intense Wall Street job. Where's that bowl? I want to find that Wall Street bowl, but I don't know where it is. We stumbled upon it when we were walking around the city in real life, IRL, and what am I trying to say? And like, you see footage of it, like on TV, and like it's just the bowl. But when you're there in person, the bowl is like surrounded by tourists. Like you can't get a picture of it like on its own during the middle of the day. Like there's just people lining up to take pictures of it. So obviously I got in line and I got my picture of the bowl, and it is somewhere in my hard drive somewhere, forgotten. Yeah, that's what I find about like traveling sometimes. You make such an effort to capture that memory, to capture that precious memory. It's like I need this picture of the bowl. I need this picture of the bowl. Otherwise, my New York trip is simply incomplete. And then you get it, and then it just becomes this forgettable image, this forgettable 30 megabytes that's sitting in your hard drive, and you never look at it. However, I got this wonderful story of me getting the picture beside the bowl. All right, magnificent. I remember 9/11 well. That was really like an intense moment of my childhood. Obviously, I wasn't in New York, so I didn't get like a first-hand experience, but I remember that was when I got into the news. I was like watching the news every day, just trying to see the development of the story. Before that, I would just watch cartoons. So you could say 9/11, as for many people, it kind of just, in North America, it kind of like, it took away like the innocence that you felt in the 90s. It's like things are great, nothing to worry about. I could just watch cartoons, and then that happened, and I'm like, okay, I think I should pay attention to news now, because and it also made me realize that there's no such thing as a safe job. Like there's also hey, look at this guy. I found him. I found you. I knew you were here. End. There's no such thing as a safe job. There's no such thing as like, I don't know what I'm trying to say here. It's like things happen, and it's unpredictable. And it's like those people who were going to work that day, and you just think about that, and it's pretty heavy stuff. I don't want to end this episode on that, but it's just seeing the new tower there, and just being like, when we were there, we walked around the memorial sites, and it started raining and snowing, so we didn't really get a chance to like really appreciate it. But it was nice being in such a place that really did play like an indirect impact to the way I grew up. Yeah, so I have this deep respect for New York as a city, as a place to live, because Vancouver itself, we've gone through things, but we haven't, like when we talk about COVID and all that stuff, and New York being dead, and it's like this jewel of the Western Hemisphere and all that, and people just like who are rude to each other all the time, being able to come together, and how resilient it is, and survive for generations and generations. And oh, the charging bull! I see you. Oh, I just skipped it. Where are you? And I like that in a place where people who live in small towns have this feeling that big cities kind of don't work properly. And in many ways it's true. However, also, I'm going the wrong way. New York, sometimes, if they could get out of this COVID thing in one piece, I'm entering a tunnel. I want to see this bowl. This is the, where is this? I saw a name. Would just be incredible. If I could go back to New York in, let's say, 5 years, it's obviously going to change a lot, but that's the hope for me right now. It's like everything, obviously I don't want Vancouver to become New York in any way, but as a person who lives in a city, it's always like the role model of it. Hey, you can see the reflection of the Google car. Well, I'm not able to find that charging bowl. Maybe I just click on it. I click on it. Well, I found that guy, and he's giving the bowls that I need. So maybe I should end in that. Maybe I end on these guys. I couldn't find the bowl. I tried, but let's end on these guys. No one really took pictures of these guys. Don't line up to see these guys giving the bowls. The devil horns. I think that's what they're actually. This is what Google Maps is marking. These guys are just here all the time, and they're just the alternative to the actual statue. But oh, is it here? Oh, I'm so close. Google. My God, it refuses to let me get there. Oh, here it is. What did I say? Was I right? Or was I? This is actually what it looks like. So everybody kind of lines up, and one person at a time takes their turn and do some bullshit pose. Yeah, bullshit. This is some bullshit right here. And yeah, like I said, obviously I don't want Vancouver to become New York in any way, but I want New York to stay New York, if that makes sense. It's the city experience that people want to have. A city lover like myself, we want to see this place do well in every way, shape, or form. Even like this. This is it. This is it. And I couldn't think of a better spot to end on than this. This is a different moment. The guy's gone. I feel like we should end on the guy. Yeah, everybody just gathered around, taking pictures. So New York is full of, I guess, just moments like this one. Like this. There's just so many things to take pictures of, and it's just a fun place to be, and I miss it a lot. And I think about those 3 days, 2 nights often. And I hope to be back really soon to visit this place and see this bowl. And so thank you so much for joining me today. Walking around New York, I didn't get to see everything I wanted to on this list. I didn't think I would. So I also wrote Brooklyn instead of Brooklyn. So nothing went perfectly this time, but you can't control this stuff. You can't have the perfect trip. And oftentimes it's the things that go wrong that makes a trip worthwhile. And that's the moral of this episode. It's just seeing things, just trying to see what you can. Not being too focused on one thing, because then you'll miss other things. But there you go. I hope to be back in New York real soon, but I'm glad we had this Google Maps adventure to kind of, quench the thirst a little bit. And yeah, I've been talking for a long time now, so I'm gonna stop this. But please join me next time as I check out another city that I long to visit or return to, and share, and we'll wander around. We'll wander around again. All right. Take care. I'll see you soon.